I'm Joe Duffy for Picks and Parlays. I'm going to take a look at your Wednesday night college football action. We're going to have a look at Kent State and Ball State plus Northern Illinois and Toledo. Historic report. I'm going to share a secret with you. Visiting the parents, I'm actually recording this from my childhood bedroom. Doesn't it look absolutely beautiful with that background? Yeah, I must have a green screen or something in my childhood bedroom. But anyway, we should be back into my normal haunts, my Joe Duffy's Picks headquarters in Roswell, Georgia, by next week. But wanted to definitely check on the parents, and you know what? They've been giving me good luck. I know it's been a brutal year when it comes to the worst beats and literally last-second heartbreak, but we have more than turned it around. 16-6 football run, 7-0 with my highest rated Wise Guy plays, and we're just going to continue to build on that momentum. Make sure you follow me at Offshore Insider, and of course, in the comments section, tell me exactly what you want more of, because college basketball is here. Do you want college basketball picks, NBA picks, NFL, college football? You tell me in the comments section. Your wish is my command, and of course, your wish for many decades has been for me to give you winners, and we're back where we belong. But still, not superstitious. Don't do any handicapping or any betting based on superstitions, but you gotta feel we're owed some breaks, some backdoor covers heading our way. All right, why don't we take a look at Kent State and Ball State first? The opening line, Ball State minus 2.5, minus 110, 46.5. Where do I go for this information? Odds logical, though. When it comes to contrarian stuff, I definitely like to get it corroborated elsewhere, but nobody is better than Odds Logic, especially for shopping around for the best line possible. The look-ahead line saw Ball State minus 3.5 and 46.5. And the best lines out there, according to Odds Logic, Ball State minus 1.5, minus 108. Kent State plus 1.5, minus 105. The best totals out there, over 46.5, minus 105, or under 46.5, minus 110. The splits on the side, 66% of the bets, 91% of the money on Ball State, and that's something I've gotten corroborated elsewhere. A lot of money, especially on Ball State, according to all my sources. Quite frankly, the totals, there's a little bit too small of a sample size right now, but if you check at Offshore Insider a little before game time, hopefully I'll have a chance to get some accurate totals where there's going to be a pretty good sample size, and we'll see if the splits on the side go either direction. Ball State is 5-2 this year against the spread. They're covering, though, by an average of only 0.3 points per game, so they do have seemingly a great spread record, but they're not really covering by all that large of a margin. Look-ahead line, Ball State minus 3.5, 46. Well, all right, we already talked about that. Kent State is 4-4, but they're covering by 5.6 points per game. Told you I'm out of my normal TV studio, so a little bit thrown off. Kent State 4-4, but covering by an average of 5.6 points per game. Obviously, my handicapping hasn't been thrown off because I'm just crushing it. Maybe I need to move in back with my parents because they've been giving me great karma. I should have been doing homework in this room about 40 years ago, but that's another story altogether. Ball State has gone under 5-3 by an average of going under 1.6 points per game. Kent is 4-4 to the over-under, but they're going over by an average of 3.3. Got some great systems here. Go against home favorites that are off of games in which they scored 9 or fewer points. And we mix in a couple other metrics there, but essentially home favorites once they scored 9 or fewer points in the previous game. 328, 218, and 17. That is to go against such team. That would favor Kent. Now, Kent is 0-4 on the road straight up, and the home team is 7-1 straight up in their games. Conversely, Ball State, same thing. 3-0 straight up at home, and the home team is 8-0 straight up in their game. So I know what you're saying. You should probably bet the living daylights out of the home team. I mean, it's a virtual pick'em game. Nope. Remember what I keep telling you time and time again. Our anti-splits say, when a line doesn't make sense, it instead makes dollars. Terrible road teams, not getting more than 4.5 to excellent home teams are 660, 506, and 24. That would benefit Kent. Remember, in both college football and the NFL, a home field advantage is generally worth about 3 points. So if you look at nothing other than those straight-up records I told you about, you would say that Ball State should be laying 5 points, 6 points, and they're not. Use the odds makers' knowledge against them. And in fact, just the master system, terrible road teams not getting more than 4.5 to excellent home teams would be 660, 506, and 24. The master angle, though, does say game 3 or later, a visitor that's winless on the road versus an opponent that's at least 500 at home, but they're not getting at least 5 points, is 745, 607, and 29. Now, how about the total? Kent games this year have averaged 55.12 points per game. Ball State has averaged 46.12 points per game. So if you would come up with a number in the middle, that would say the total should be, around 52.5, give or take a half a point. But the total is only 46.5. So I know what you're saying. Wait a minute. The total really seems low. You should bet the over. No. Once again, we're using the odds makers' knowledge against them. When the points for and points again of both teams suggest that the total is too low, no, we don't bet the over. We say, odds makers, thank you for giving us that information, and we actually bet the under. I've got a system along those lines that is 1101, 779, and 34. Sportsline has Ball State winning 23-18. And they are covering 58%, going under 64%. Still, though, my free winner is to go with Kent plus the 1.5 because we're using the odds makers' knowledge against them. Again, this line seems like it's off. The line doesn't make any sense, but our database says when the odds makers are telling you a powerful message, don't dare ignore them. Take their knowledge and use it against them. That's why I'm going against Kent State, a terrible road team, only getting 1.5 points on the road against a very good home team, because all the square players are going to look at that and say, go the other way. So yes, again, my pick would sound counterintuitive, but many of our winning systems are counterintuitive. Kent is your free winner. Did you know at Picks and Parlays right now you can get 3 days my picks for just $49, 1 week for $69, and now is the time to hop on. They got specials on just about everything. You want to lock in long term, now that we're back on fire, now that we got, seemingly every heartbreaking loss, we've got about a year's worth out of the way in a month. It is going to be sensational. That angle that I keep talking about, anti-splits, wins in every single sport. Lock in long term right now. Joe Duffy's picks at Picks and Parlay. All right, Picks and Parlays. Now, another quick hitter. Northern Illinois and Toledo go against home favorites in which they scored 9 or fewer points is 328, 218, and 17. That is, they scored 9 or fewer points the previous week. That would favor Northern Illinois. It's kind of ironic. You know that system applies only 4 times this week, but it applies in both Wednesday night games, and that happens every now and then. And of course, very famous system. A lot of people wear this when you have a high spread but a low total in conference play. You want to go with the underdog. We've got one that is 325, 217, and 18. Once again, that would favor Northern Illinois. And in fact, Sportsline says this is going to be a low-scoring game. They project this game 27-19, with Northern Illinois covering a pretty impressive 66%. So my winner is to go with Northern Illinois. Once again, Northern Illinois is your free winner, as well as Kent. And please, I should have said this at the beginning, please like my videos. That's your way of saying you want Joe Duffy to give even more free winning picks in every single sport. And like I said, I got metrics. I've been in this business a long time because I get the metrics that win. So I would really appreciate a like and, of course, a comment. Who do you like in this game and why? Or do you got a best bet for this weekend? And most importantly, any questions about what you want me to look up for you? I'm going to do it, folks. So please just put your question in the comments section. And by the way, more fantastic videos. We got some great handicappers at Picks and Parlays. just about all the best handicappers in the world are at picks and parlays. And here's another free pick coming up from one right now.